So with those few words, and besides applying for East Africa, please apply for visas to all Africa, because that's the place to be. I'd like to now invite our first Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, to come and give her keynote address. Thank you.
Habari za asubuhi. Bonjour. Good morning. I thought I should speak the languages of this African community. Right Honorable Tayebwa and all distinguished guests, Mr. Mutenza, our host, I'm really happy to be here today. I was here at the beginning, at the first UK convention, and I'm happy to be here for the 14th. I want to really thank Mr. Mutenza for the resilience, the tenacity, innovation that has enabled it to keep it running all this time. And I want to thank you all for coming to support this convention. Last year when I spoke here, I was speaking for 7 countries. Today I'm speaking for 8 countries. At that time, the East African community spanned from the Indian Ocean up the port of Matadi on the Atlantic. Since then, we have added the Federal Republic of Somalia, which has brought 3,000 kilometers of coastline. So all these are opportunities. Last year's theme was unlocking Uganda's trade investment and export potential. The discussion then revolved around enhancing access to markets in the UK, Europe, and the Commonwealth. I believe we did justice to that topic. I hope we can hear the outcomes of that meeting. Things are getting better in the East African region. The East African community is ranked number 1 by sub-regional population. We boast a lot of stability. We are both English-speaking and French-speaking. We have an enterprising workforce, strategically located, and we have exceptional natural resources. And I can assure that an investment in Uganda or any of the other countries gives you access to a potential market of over 300 million people. Some of the main strengths of the EAC include capacity to attract FDI because of the fast economic growth, the low general government debt, the low cost of labor, geographical proximity to regional markets, and the international markets through the EU, US, and China, and India trade agreements. This is buttressed by the Common Market Protocol, which creates a single market in Africa, enabling the free movement of people, goods, services, capital throughout the 8 countries. It also establishes the right of residence and rights of establishment, of course, together with all these agreements that I've mentioned. One of the other advantages of the EAC is the vast resources, especially minerals, throughout the country, throughout the continent. We have quite a deposit of minerals that can produce electric cars, lithium batteries, hydrogen batteries, and like other regions. We're endowed with minerals like titanium, fluorspar, zirconium, gold, oil, gas, cobalt, nickel, diamonds, copper, coal, and iron ore. Everything is in Africa, and we're open for business. Apart from the region's investment in agricultural businesses, supported by rich soils, it is an excellent prospect for investment in renewable energy, but I think the minister will speak to that later. There is also a huge potential for the maritime industry. It's one of the areas that has been completely undeveloped. The great rivers and lakes of the East African community have not been exploited. The River Congo, the River Nile are lakes. Victoria, Tanganyika, etc. Those are all areas that are available for investment. Given substantial investment, access to, and required by the energy and promote resilience. We are looking towards activating the third and fourth pillars of integration, namely the monetary union, which will enable us to issue a single currency to facilitate trade in the region. And eventually, we shall also be looking at the political confederation that is required to improve our governance and management of our affairs. Therefore, the East African Regional Development and Cooperation Strategy is founded on the following three priorities: promoting it in regional partner institutions as a local solution, supporting the regional institutions in achieving long-term sustainable development goals in the EAC by increasing institutional strength and leadership, expertise, as they work with stakeholders to advance mutually beneficial policies and address threats. Intra-regional economic integration and trade as a means to growth, improving market access across borders, reducing barriers to trade, and facilitating smart policy. These are requirements that will facilitate the farms and laborers to take full advantage of the global economy, foster equitable and sustainable growth. We will also have a common passport, but I think Mr. Goa will speak to that. We have the East African passport to ease our movement within the region. We also have the strategy of regional resilience to internal and external shocks. We partner with the regional institutions to identify and address urgent and immediate threats to economic and political stability, including food insecurity, and transnational threats such as the rise of violent extremism to secure sustainable growth. We have in the region the legal regime for joint ventures, strategic alliances, franchising, licensing agreements, equity investments, mergers and acquisitions, public partnerships, technology transfer, research and development, supply chain partnerships, export and distribution agreements, training capacity building, and shared services. Hopefully, we shall have some technocrats look at this in collaboration with our investors in this house today, so that we can establish the best line of fit and how far the policy end can go. I want to assure that within the East African community, we have a robust competition law, or equally we have the mergers law, and the domestic jurisdictions have also enacted the domestic legislation along the same lines. It's therefore important that entrepreneurs team up with the EAC and our people here to tackle critical aspects like increased competitiveness, diversification of investments, enhanced business practices, policy and regulatory improvements, cultural exchange and collaboration, local business development, enhanced market access, knowledge and technology transfer, and generally economic development. We can benefit from the abundance of resources, economies of scale, which come with this large market. It's my prayer that today we shall identify and chart a path where we can cooperate and mutually meet our other needs. We also want to assure you that if you have a very big international conference, the place to go is Munyonyo. And I'm glad that Dr. Sudhir is here. We hosted the non-aligned movement successfully, together with the non-aligned summit. All this is a capacity which has been built in the country. Tourism is another area. If you want a good holiday, Uganda is the place to be. Go to Kenya, go to Tanzania, you can go to Zanzibar. All of these are places that you need to visit in your lifetime. So I want to thank you for listening to me. Have a good conference. Thank you so much.